So the Springboks have just announced their side to take on the Irish in the second test match of their series. Now, sadly, it is the second and it is the last. We do not get a three-match series between these two sides, but one thing is for sure, the first one was entertaining, and this one here will be no different. Now, for anyone who watched my lineup video last week, you could actually watch that one again because this is an unchanged 23 for the Springboks heading into this contest. No injuries. No changes whatsoever. Whoever took to the field last week is exactly who will be taken to the field once again. But of course, we will remind you exactly who is in the starting side. Number 1, it is Oxnashare. Number 2, Bongiumba Nambi. And number 3, Frans Malherbe. Now, Oxnashare, I thought, had a very strong game from that number 1 jersey. They do still have that same 6-2 split off the bench with the bomb squad, where we will see Mark Steenekamp as well as Vincent Koch make their way on the field, perhaps all at the same time, like we saw. And at the last game in the locking duo, it will be Eben Etzebeth with his 121 caps of experience alongside Franco Mostert. Now, last game we didn't see a huge amount of the Springboks locks, but I don't think that was necessarily their fault. Just wasn't a game based around them, whereas normally you would see a lot of Eben Etzebeth had a pretty quiet game, but I'm sure if he gets his hands on the ball, he will be running it as quick as he can at the Irish line. Try and run straight over the top of someone looking through at the loose forward trio. Now, this is where we thought we may have seen one change, but that did not happen. Sia Khaleesi at number 6, the captain. Number 7, Peter Steph-Toy, and number 8, Quagga Smith. Now, out of those three, I think Quagga Smith was the one quite a few people predicted would be out of the side, have him coming off the bench with Evan Roos getting the start at 8. But that is not what the Springboks have done. Instead, sticking with Quagga. He had a mixed game, had a couple handling errors early, gave away a penalty, but also was able to rip the ball away from the Irish, won a penalty of his own, and some very decent running meters throughout that last test match. Looking through at the back line, Faf de Klerk at number 9 with Hondre Pollard at 10. Now, when that man missed 3 kicks in a row, there was a stunned silence at Loftus, even when he missed 1 kick. Just because of how reliable Hondre's kicking normally is, you don't expect to see him missing at all. But unfortunately, it just wasn't quite coming off the kicking tee the way that he would have liked. He did some great things outside of the kicking tee throughout that game, and they've gone with Faf de Klerk again at 9, which makes me think we once again are going to see a little bit more of a kicking-orientated game for the Springboks side. Damien Dialende, he will be there at number 12 with number 13, be a man of the match. Jesse Creel, he had some phenomenal stats from that last contest on attack and defence, so definitely deserves that 13 spot. Number 11, Kurtli Arendse. Number 14, Cheslin Colby, who was able to score himself a try in that last game. Same with Kurtli Arendse. And then number 15, to close out this lineup for the Springboks, it is Willie LaRue. Looking through at the bench, Malcolm Marks, Gerhard Steenekamp, and also Vincent Koch as the front row replacements. Salman Morat as the number 19, whose name I still don't quite pronounce right. I always get a lot of hate about it, so do help me out in the comments. How do I say this man's last name without annoying some South Africans? Number 20, it is R.G. Snyman. He absolutely crushed Craig Casey in the last contest. Casey not going to be playing in this game for the Irish. Same with Dan Sheehan, who actually suffered a knee injury. Whether or not he will be back for 2024, we will soon know. Number 21, Mako van Staden, and then the 2 back replacements who cover the whole back line. 22, Grant Williams, and 23, Sasha Feinberg Ungume Zulu. He had a great kickoff deep. James Lowe making the mistake. That actually led to the Springboks and their bomb squad getting that scrum penalty try right near the end of the game. So, of course, if Feinberg Ungume Zulu can continue in the form that he's in, he might be getting more minutes as we head towards the Rugby Championship. But this game, it is kicking off at the identical time as it did last week, 3 a.m. New Zealand time, 5 p.m. kickoff for you guys in South Africa on Saturday. It's going to be a great game taking place in Durban. And this one, if the Springboks win it, they will win the series 2-0. If Ireland can pull off the upset, the series will end in a 1-all draw. But thank you all very much for tuning in. Do let me know what you think of the Springboks lineup in the comments down below. Of course, like I said, completely the same as last week. So we have to see if they can do exactly what they did last week and get themselves another big win up against Ireland. But thank you all very much for tuning in, and I will see you all for the next one.